Hi, welcome back to the JavaScript Beginners tutorial video series. In this tutorial, we're going to have a look at arrays and discuss arrays for the first time. We have actually already sort of touched on arrays, and I think we've used an array at some point during this series, but we're going to look at arrays today, how to declare and initialize arrays, and then how to use them in our programs. So before we start, let's just look at what exactly is an array for somebody who hasn't done any programming before. An array is basically like a variable that can store more than one element. So with the variables that we've been making so far, we've made variables that can store a string of text, like somebody's name, or a password, or it could be an integer or a float, so a number like 10 or 3.5, something like that. But all of these variables have only been storing one element in them. Okay, but an array can store many elements, can store more than one element. So firstly, we're going to look at how to declare and initialize an array, so how to create an array and put values into it, or more than one element into it. And there's two ways that we can declare an array, and we'll look at that first. So it's just like creating a variable, so use the var keyword. And with the first array, I'm going to make an array that can store words, like greeting words, so hello, hi, howdy, g'day, that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to call my array words, just like I'd set up a variable. And I could do it this way. I could say var words equals new array, and then in brackets I can put in my strings of text. So I could put in hello. Okay, so I've got one value in there, or one element, but to put in more, I just separate them with commas. Hi, howdy, hey, and maybe one in a different language, namaste. Okay, and then end that line with a semicolon. So here we've set up a new array, and the array is called words. And in this array we have strings of text. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements in this array. 5 elements of text. Okay, different words. That is one way of setting up an array. But a quicker way is to do it like this. You don't actually have to use new array. You don't have to use that keyword there, new. What you can do is, instead of using new array and brackets, we can just put var words equals, and then inside square brackets, all of those elements. Okay, so that way works. Both ways they do the same thing, but this is the quicker way of doing it. It's a little bit more efficient and easier to do. Okay, so we've got var words equals hello, hi, howdy, g'day, and namaste. So now we can print out one of the elements, or display one of the elements in this array. So we can use the document.write method. Okay, and then we can grab this array name, words, and then inside square brackets we need to pick out which one we want to actually display. So remember that in programming languages such as JavaScript, in an array, JavaScript starts counting from 0. So hello is not, it is the first element in this array, but it has a kind of like an ID number or an index number of 0. So it goes 0 is hello, 1 is hi, 2 is howdy, 3 is g'day, and 4 is namaste. So even though there's 5 elements in this array, it will start counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So if we want to print out howdy, then we'd count 0, 1, 2. Okay, so it's the third element in our array, but it has a index of 2. Okay, that's how JavaScript indexes elements in an array, and it's the same with strings. If you wanted to display, if you had a string of text that was just hello, and you wanted to grab the letter E from it, then you would refer to its index of 1, not 2, because it would go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're getting the word howdy. We type in document.write words and then in square brackets 2, close those brackets, and then semicolon. Save that and run in Chrome. Okay, and it says howdy. Okay, so that's worked. Let's go back to Notepad++. If we put in 3, change 2 to 3, it should say g'day. Save that and refresh. There we go, it says g'day. Okay, now we don't necessarily have to put in all the elements of an array straight away. We can create an array that is empty. So we might make an array that's going to store different kinds of pets, or names of pets. Okay? And what we could do is we could just say var pets equals, and then empty square brackets. So there's nothing actually specified in there. No elements have been added to the array. But we could then later on put some elements into this array. So we could say pets 0 equals dog. Pets 1 equals cat. Adding a semicolon at the end of each line. Pets 2 equals fish. Okay, so the first element in our array has an index of 0. So just remember that we start counting from 0, not from 1. Okay, so those are a couple of ways that you can create an array. You could also specify how many elements were going to be in the array. So we could do something like var cars, oops, not cars, var cars equals, and for this example we use the new array keyword, and we could put in a 4. So we could create a new array that is going to have 4 elements in it. Okay, so then we could go and put in cars 0 equals Mitsubishi, cars 1 equals Honda, cars 2 equals Toyota, cars 3 equals BMW, and cars 4 equals Volkswagen. I think I've spelled that right. Or we might just do another car, Renault. Okay. Alright, so now we've got an array here. Whoops. We've got an array here, but we've put an array that has 4 elements in it. And we've put in the first 4 elements up to 3, but you can still keep adding elements after that. So you can just make an array that has space for 4 elements, but then later on you can add more elements to that array. So if we print out, we go document.write, and then we put in pets and 2, we should get fish. Okay, and then if we put document.write cars and then 4, we should get Renault. Okay, we should have fish and Renault on one line. So let's test that. And that's what we get. Fish and then Remo on one line. Okay, so that's how you create arrays in JavaScript. And basically there's two ways of doing it. You can either just say var, so use the var keyword, then the name of your array, and then you could use square brackets to either make it an empty array and add values or elements later, or you could add them in there straight away, separating them with commas. Or you can use this as well, the new array keyword as well. So there's two ways of doing it, but it's usually quicker just to use square brackets instead. If you use new array, you just use normal parentheses, not square brackets. You can also put numbers into an array, so it doesn't have to be just strings of text. It could be something like dog, and then 1, and then cat. Okay, so you can mix up strings of text and integers, whatever. Okay, so you're going to have arrays that will have mixed data types, and you'll have arrays that just have numbers and arrays that just have text. Okay, so that's an introduction to arrays, and thanks for watching.